You know the sentence, but something sounds off. And it's usually just one small word after the verb. Prepositions after verbs are easy to forget, and they're not random. The most common ones follow a pattern. This lesson is for B1 learners who make small but noticeable errors after verbs. For example, I'm waiting you. I'm good in English. I depend on my team. Here's what usually happens. You learn a verb, you use it confidently, but the preposition that follows it in English is different from your language. Or there is no preposition where you expect one. Or there is one where you expect nothing. And these mistakes are hard to catch because you're not thinking about the preposition. You're thinking about the verb. Native speakers and fluent speakers will notice it immediately. Not because the meaning is unclear, but because the combination sounds wrong. The good news is that verbs and prepositions are fixed pairs in English. You cannot translate them from your language. You need to learn the pair. What pairs am I talking about? Well, here are the most common mistakes and how to fix them. Mistake 1. Verbs that need a preposition that you might miss. Some verbs always need a certain preposition before the object, but learners leave it out. For example, they will say waiting you instead of I'm waiting for you. Looking my keys instead of I'm looking for my keys. Or listening music instead of I am listening to music. Let's quickly test if you got it. What preposition is missing here? I am thinking about it. And I agree with you. Well done. So you see, the fix for these ones is to learn the preposition with the verb as one unit. Wait for, listen to, think about, and agree with. Now some verbs take a direct object. No preposition between the verb and the noun. Sometimes learners add one from their language. For example, they would say called to him instead of I called him. Contacted with her instead of I contacted her. Entered into the room instead of I entered the room. Do you see the pattern? These verbs do not need a preposition. Let's see if you got it. How to fix these two sentences. Say it out loud. I reached to the station. I reached the station. Discussed about the plan. I discussed the plan. So you see, after these verbs, the object comes immediately. No preposition in between. Now there's a third group. Verbs where the preposition changes the meaning entirely. These are verbs that change their meaning based on the preposition. Getting this wrong will send a completely different message. Some will say, I'm good in English. The correct version would be, I am good at English. When you say in, you refer to a location or context. For example, I'm good in English class. Different meaning. Here's another one. I depend on my teacher means you rely on your teacher. The same counts for she insisted. This is incomplete. Instead use she insisted on paying, meaning she demanded. Do you see the pattern? Let's test it. What should I say instead of I am interested for or interested about? Yes, you could say I am interested in the job. What about apologized about or apologized because? Yes, for example, you could say, he apologized for being late. Make sure to use the right preposition here. For these verbs, the best thing you can do is to memorize the correct preposition that fits that verb. Do remember that some verbs can have multiple prepositions depending on the context. Let's see if you got it. I have 5 sentences with a preposition mistake. Pause and fix the sentence before answering. I will give you a few seconds each. I am waiting you outside. I am waiting for you outside. She discussed about the budget with the team. She discussed the budget with the team. He is very good in speaking English. He is very good at speaking English. I called to him 3 times. I called him 3 times. They apologized about arriving late. They apologized for being late. And that's it. Make sure to comment how many you got right. Now for practice. Pick 3 verbs from today's lesson that you use regularly. Write 1 sentence with each, with the correct preposition. That is it. You write the 3 sentences, then say them out loud. That is how you practice the correct pairs of verbs and prepositions. If this helped, subscribe. I do a new live lesson every Monday and Friday on TikTok, with the video every Tuesday and Saturday on YouTube. Keep speaking and see you in the next one.